Okay, we're back. So by this time, my X2 shorts will have started going through, which is cool. And I just wanted to go through these guys again and just demonstrate how hard it was for each of these guys to be killed with their weakness weapon. I did XBuster before. Weakness weapon is a whole nother ball game because sometimes the weapons behave or travel or the speed of them is so different that it's hard to hit them, or it's easier to hit them, So, or you could stun lock them, God forbid, and it makes it way easier. So, without further ado, so Chill Penguin's weakness is to the Flame Mammoth, and he gets stun locked. You can literally just stun lock him. Sometimes he'll shoot a nice pellet right after he's done, or he'll jump, but just follow him and he's good. Storm Eagle is normal. He doesn't get hit. He doesn't get have any knockback, or he doesn't get stun locked by Sting Chameleon's weakness. But it's pretty easy too, because you could charge it up while he's doing the dive bomb attack and just pop him that way, and it's easy. And thankfully, the Sting Chameleon weapon, goes into 3 in degrees, so it's easier to hit him when he's up higher. Flame Mammoth's weakness is the Storm Tornado. No more effort. A lot of these are going to be in normal. No more effort than the XBuster. If anything, it might take a little bit longer because the Storm Tornado travels so slowly. Kwonger's easy. You basically just hang out in one of the corners and just pepper him every so often. If you get the rhythm right, it's ridiculously easy. Mandrill gets stun locked. You can easily just stun lock him to death before he even does any attacks. It's crazy. Armadillo, it still takes some effort. You still have to dodge his attacks and get around him. Actually, let me make this a little bit smaller if I can. If you'll, there we go. And let me just move this over here. There we go. So I have Mammoth up, but ignore that. Let me move this over here. Just get it a little. There we go. Nice and tight. Ignore the Mammoth. This is just the one I clicked on. This is just the damage chart. I'm going to zoom in on that. So Armadillo, he does take 3 damage from that and 6 from the charge. So it's easier, but you still have to. You don't stun lock him except for the first time, so you still have to get around his banging around. And this is Damageless too, by the way. I didn't mention that earlier, but this is the difficulty for Damageless using their weakness. Yeah, I'm going to put the Octopus on Brutal. I thought I made this a little bit smaller. I guess not. We could do that. Launch Octopus is actually more hard with the weakness than he is with just the XBuster, almost. He does take a lot of damage from this as opposed to the XBuster. It's like shooting a fully charged shot every time. And when he's up twirling around in his little things, you can charge up one of these and do a 4 damage when he drops back down right onto your bubble. So that's cool. But the bubble still, it breaks when he shoots you with the missiles. So you can't do that all the time, and you have to be offensive and defensive at the same time. It's really hard. Chameleon's probably just as easy as Mandrill. You can stun lock these guys like cray. Actually, let me put him there because these guys get stun locked. These guys don't, and that's definitely he can still hit you with his boomerang, but you just got to be. If you don't have the dash boots, it'll make it harder. Vile, you can get hit, but the bubble does so much freaking damage. It's what, 6 hits? 6 times 4? It feels like it's less. And by the time the rolling shield gets to him, he can take another hit. So it's crazy easy with that compared to normal. I'm gonna put the bow spider in hard, and that's because when it drops the baby spiders, the shotgun ice can hit them. You can't duck in this game, so you have to hit them with shotgun ice on the rebound, or you have to charge it up and use the penguin. And that makes it hard because, well, you can't hit them that round. And if you do, you have to expertly jump around, remember the pattern, and get around them while the babies are going back up the walls to the sides too. So it's hard. I wouldn't say brutal. But it's pretty hard. Normal for Rangdabanga. They take a lot of damage from... Ooh, my bad. It takes a lot of damage from the Sting Chameleon, and the eyeballs just die and disappear, and the nose is super easy to dodge. D-Rex is a little harder, way less hard than doing it with the XBuster. Holy crap. He takes so much damage from it. Again, it's 3 and 4. And at this rate, once he goes into the firing the shadow balls, the electric balls mode, you can basically just kill him just as long as you're dodging the balls and missing that. Velgarder is probably a little effort too. He is weak to the ice, I believe, right? Yes. Ice, and you can hit him pretty good, and you can shoot some penguin slides at him, which is fun. But it's not any less hard than using their Buster. The Buster might have a bigger hitbox, but at least the shotgun ice has like rebound. Sigma. Sigma is way easier on, I'd say, normal. Sigma is way easier with the weapon just because it does 2 damage and 3 damage as opposed to 1 of anything. So hit him half as many times at least. And then this guy still, Wolf Sigma still takes some effort. It's not so bad because you don't have to charge up, and it takes 2 instead of just 1. So kill him in half, almost like a quarter of the time, I'd say. So you still have to dodge everything, though, in order to not take any damage. So it is what it is. This guy technically doesn't count, but he takes 2 hits from... Let me move this in. He takes 2 hits from... It's 25. Every life bar is 30, 32. So, crazy weak to this. And I have used it, and it will go live. I had to use cheats to get the weapon, but I did it because I wanted to be completionist about it. Absolutely, like, the easiest, just because it's 2 shots. The wheel doesn't travel; it just falls, so you just have to hit him right in the head. But it's 2 hits, and he moves so slow anyway. Wheelgator's hard. He's hard because Silk Chain has no range, and when you fully charge it up, even though it does do, 5 damage, if you're too close to the wall, it'll pull you toward it, and you have to like break out of the animation. Meanwhile, he's shooting you with stuff that you got to dodge anyway, especially the little laser mouth things. So pretty hard. Ostrich, again, is on the easy because you can sunlock him. I did this amazingly in the short that's going to be coming out, where he'll jump at you depending on how far away from you are. Far away from you he is. And if you're like right next to him, he'll just jump up. And if you hit him, so he'll jump up. As soon as he jumps, the arc is already predetermined. So you can dash back, jump up, and hit him, and he'll actually fall further away than where he jumped from originally, which is super cool because it's a stun lock. You can stun lock Flame Stag too, but you have to get so close because the bubbles splash doesn't have any range whatsoever, and he will attack you through his iframes, so you need to pop them and get out, pop them, jump. You have to be a little strategic about it. So I'd say normal. But he takes so much damage from it. What is it? 0.2. Okay, it's not that much damage, but it's a decent amount. It's a charge shot instantly, Wire Sponge is fun. I'd say there's a little effort because when he shoots the little fingers at you, you have to shoot them, and if you've already shot both of your shots that divide into 2 each, they're slow down on the screen, and you don't have anything more to shoot the fingers. So, and if you shoot the finger like at point blank range, it won't do enough damage. You have to wait for the slicers to separate for like double damage. So it's a little bit of a strategic fight when you're using that. I'd say Crab is normal. Actually, you know what? Let me put that on effort. I remember having more trouble with that. The problem is that when he puts the shield on, he's attacking, and the spin wheel will go through the shield, but it'll take a couple of hits, and sometimes he'll jump out and the wheel will break. So I think I tried to do what I do for XBuster, where you go over his head, and that way he breaks the bubble himself, and you pop a spin wheel up on his head. But the spin wheel takes so long to wear out, and you can only shoot one at a time. So it's a pain in the butt, and it requires some effort. Crystal Snail requires a little bit of effort. I almost want to put normal in here because when you pop him with his attack, he slams back up against the wall and loses his shell, and then he tries to get back in his shell. So you can be expert about it and like keep hitting his shell, so he has to like keep going toward it. He won't attack you until he's back in the shell. But you can, it's hard to just play that game. So I'd say effort. It's not. Actually, you know what? If I'm going to go by that logic, Stag needs to go a little bit higher. So I'll do that. Morph Moth, easy. Easy. You can so easily dodge his stuff, and he takes so much damage. 3. Yeah, he takes 3 damage from that, and 6 from the charge. So while he's up in the air, while he's shedding the cocoon and he's becoming the moth, you can charge one up and just ram into him while he's flying around in the air. And then you can slide down the wall and just keep popping them. It's easy. Centipede also is pretty easy. He loses his tail once you hit him with the junk shot. So it makes it so that he can't pull you up anymore, and he can't do the mine thing where they spin around you and then go into you. He's just doing the little throwy stars, and those are so easy to dodge, and he goes in any corner, and the weapon literally breaks into 4 pieces and goes to each corner, depending on where you shoot, so very easy. Violin was brutal, my god, because it's already hard with X. I would have put it in hard with X. I think I did. But it's... Oh, wait, this is Violin 1. So we're using actually Silk. Yeah, the Leaf version of Silk Shot, which does a decent amount of damage. So I'm going to put that in a little bit of effort. You do need to dodge his thing a little bit, but it's so easy to predict where it's going. With that said, like I said, these two guys are going on brutal. He does the Crystal Silk Shot, and he does do the Slicer too, but for the first round, I just did the Silk Shot because it was so cool to do like the different elements for that. It's easier to do than the Slicer for sure. I didn't record the Slicer. I attempted it, and it was so fucking hard, just like the XBuster one. Ridiculous to do without taking damage. Agile is easy. Doesn't get stun locked, so I'll put it normal. You still have to dodge the crap, but he takes the rock, and it's a little different than with the XBuster, but it's not so bad. He's easy to fight anyway. This guy's also... Surge's level 2 is also friggin' brutal. Just dodging the shots that go plus, and then they go X, and wall on the platforms that are going up and down and trying to do the slicer. You have to shoot it at the right spot. Actually, no, let me put that on hard. It's not so brutal that I like wanted to throw my controller like Violin 2 with the bubbles, but because then there's like luck involved. Yeah, I get that. That's probably why it's unbrutal, is because there's luck involved. It's less skill, more luck. This is about about even. I mean, and this is more skill than luck, and then this is just skill. There's no luck involved. You just do what you need to do. Agile 2 was fine. It's actually pretty. Actually, let me put that on normal. You have to dodge the spike layers and also sometimes the thing, but the missiles he shoots at you. However, magnet mine just goes up and down at will, so you just pop him one and you just don't even have to go up there. 0 was actually not that bad. Just a little effort. You shoot him with the fire, and you go back up on the wall, drop down, shoot him with the fire. Actually, let me put that in normal. That would be pretty normal. I was trying to do like a little bit crazier stuff, but Neo Sigma is hard. Depending on what he does, you have to dodge around the sparks, dodge around him rushing at you and jumping down, and it was hard. I definitely was needing to take a break after that. Neo Sigma, and then Virus Sigma is freaking brutal. It's just Silk Chain does no damage, so like when he spawns the enemies, you can't, and it's so short range, you can't hit them. And if he spawns the Triceratops, I hate the Triceratops so much. You have to hit it twice for it to blow up, and while it's shooting at you, and then Sigma's moving around, I hate it. It's the worst out of everything. Like if I weren't putting these just like in order as like a stack. No, that's right. Yeah, this would be up front. This would be the most hard fight I've ever done, and that's including this guy. It's ridiculous. Actually, yeah, this one doesn't have a weakness. Yeah, Kaiser Sigma is completely immune to any special weapons. Mac is not on here. I think I subbed him in for Mo. Mo is Spinning Blade. To be honest, I have not played that yet, but Spinning Blade I bet is going to be super easy, so let me do that. It's 15, so 3 hits with that. Maybe a charge shot, we'll see. Maybe normal, but he's so easy anyway. Butcher Buffalo is actually harder than using the XBuster, which is crazy. He does take a little bit of backshot damage. He does take some shock damage. He'll go back on his foot for a second, but then he'll just rush you again. So the hard part about this is that the bomb weapon does not destroy the ice that he shoots at you in one hit, so you have to use like 2 each time, and that's a pain in the butt. And then the wasps. Oh yeah, let me move this over here. The wasps. The hornets for the charge shot do not do that much damage. 3. It's the same. But it doesn't feel like much damage, and they're so slow. I'd rather just not charge it. Despite how hard he is on XBuster only, he's super easy with his weakness, which is the ice, because it stun locks him, and you literally just throw it, and he lands on it every time. It's great. Tunnel Rhino is normal. You still have to dodge everything, but you can really just hang out up top and shoot the acid up at the ceiling, and it'll just drop down, and it'll likely hit him. You just gotta put a little effort in. It's a little bit less hard than Armadillo, but pretty close. you stun lock the crap out of, I wanted to call him B-Drill real quick, out of Hornet, and makes it so easy. It's actually easier just to shoot the normal thing than it is to, like it says 6 damage when he falls back to the ground, but he unstun locks at that point, so. Volt Catfish is great. You can stun lock him as well, despite how brutal he is with the XBuster. This is probably the biggest shift. I think I put him on brutal before. Way easier with the weapon. Crush Crawfish. He does require some effort. It's easy to hit him with the Triad Thunder because the Thunder goes like 30 or 45 degrees downward, and he's usually right around that area where a Thunderbolt can go and hit him. So that's not so bad, but you just have to really jump around his attacks otherwise. Neon Tiger also requires some effort. He doesn't stun lock. He stops whatever he's doing and he just restarts. And it's a little difficult to sense his pattern, which is why I have him on effort. Gravity Beetle is probably just normal. He does take a lot of damage from the Splasher for 3 and 5, but he doesn't. It's just like he's normal. He's just taking damage and he's just tanking through it. Bit and Bite also require. Oh, well, I think Bit requires more effort. It's way harder for Bit. Both the weapons do 3, and they both travel the same way. Probably a little bit easier. Oh no, I was thinking of Drill. Triad Thunder on Bit is very difficult. I had a lot of trouble with that. Ice was a little bit easier because he jumps up and then he goes across, and you can shoot one so that he hits it with his knee and takes damage that way. But the Triad Thunder was ridiculous. I had to really learn how to do that. I'm going to put that on hard for one of them. No, effort for the other, so. But we have less than hard, so I'll put it in hard. Bite is Ray Splasher and Drill. Both of them easy. He's easy anyway, so you just got to kite him the whole time, and it's done. Vile was actually very fun to do with the Ray Splasher, but not very fun to do with the Spinning Blade. So I'd say normal and effort both together between those two. The armor was even better. The armor is what the K armor is. Oh, the same thing. He was actually fun to fight with both of the weaknesses, but once he got out of the armor, it was kind of BS. So I'll put that normal, and then yeah, that's deserved. Right, so God Car Machine. Where are you? Oh, yeah, Ray Splasher. Not too hard. Effort dodges attacks, but it's actually easier. You don't really have to aim like you do with the XBuster, so put that on a little bit of effort. Oh god, the dispenser is hard, especially it is almost easier at some point. Disposer, yeah. Oh, my bad. The drill is way easier because you can aim it, and once you get used to aiming it, it's okay. So it's effort. And the Ray Splasher was ridiculous because you had to time when you needed to shoot, and then when the bullet would go up and hit his face. And that was ridiculous. Once you got it down, it was okay, but you still have to dodge the crap, the shitty spitting out, and the claw machine above you. It was not fun. That was one of my least favorite to go through, besides the brutals. But I wouldn't say brutal. I think I did that in 12 tries or so. You ran any there, buddy? Volt, very easy. He doesn't get stun locked, but he's just so slow moving, and everything he fires is so slow. Yeah, 3 damage from the thunder, which is you walk around below him, and it makes a shield. No, and if you do the shield like a regular triangle instead of an inverted triangle, it just goes up and hits him, and then all the while you're defended against all the crap he's throwing at you. So very easy. Goliath Vial is drill and bomb. He's easy anyway. I'll put that in normal. You just kite him and you're done. And yeah, like I said, Vial was a little bit harder than that. So Doppler's easy. Easy to do without taking damage. Way before I even tried this challenge. Both XBuster and his weakness. You shoot while he's gonna do the chargy thing, and then you turn around and shoot him again, and he does 3 damage from the acid. That's 7 hits. So easy. Sigma still hard. A little bit harder than XBuster with the spinny. Always with the ice too. The ice is a little bit harder because he's slower, but it's also a little easier because he'll land on it if you do it right. So I'd say hard, but a mix. And like I've done before, and you've seen before, the getting around his fireball attacks is easy once you figure out the pattern, and it's the same every time. So I actually, you know what? I'm deciding whether or not I should put that in effort or not. I'll keep it on hard. It is hard to get to learn the pattern, and even when you do it, it's happening so quickly that it deserves to be in hard. And then he has no weaknesses to any of the weapons, so he doesn't count. So, well, that's it. Yeah. Let me know if you agree or disagree, if you ever attempted this Damageless. But them's the results. So, thanks for watching. Peace out. Sayonara.